Hi, this is Jim at Jiffy Ice Drills. In this segment we're going to cover the proper procedure for adding the protective moisture boot to the engine's throttle cable on the Jiffy 2-cycle engines. The Jiffy 2-cycle engine is found on the Jiffy Model 30 as well as the Jiffy Model 60 SD60i. The first step we're going to take in this procedure is to go ahead and remove the throttle lever from the operator handle by using a number 3 Phillips screwdriver. Just back the screw out until the handle is loose. Let's just let that off to the side there. The next step we're going to take is go ahead and remove the air cleaner cover, carburetor cover assembly. And just let that set down off to the side. Then we'll go ahead and remove the foam air filter cover, the foam air filter. And the next step we're going to take is using a 5/32 Allen wrench. We're going to go ahead and remove the air cleaner mounting screws. Go ahead and remove that air cleaner. We're going to note that there is a gasket between the engine and the carburetor. We're going to make sure that we put that back in position after a while to make sure that's assembled properly. The next step we're going to take is we're going to remove the throttle cable from the throttle holder. We're just going to take a long nose pliers and just grab the throttle wire. We're going to actuate the throttle lever itself and remove that wire. And the next step we're going to take is, again, holding the wire. We're going to take the protective boot, which I have here. We're going to slide that over the wire, put it down in place. We'll go ahead and take the long nose plier and push the boot down. We're going to remount the throttle cable back to the cable holder on the throttle. And one thing you're going to note is that one end of that slot that the cable fits in is a little bit wider, and that's where the ball on the end of the cable fits down into. So we're going to want to make sure that we get that in the right position. We'll activate the lever. Okay. Get that back in place. We'll push the boot onto the plate that holds the throttle lever on. Get that all back in position properly. The next step I'm going to take is, while we've got the unit somewhat disassembled, I'm going to show you the proper way to actually lubricate it. Again, you want to wind up using a good silicone spray. Again, you want to use silicone spray because it lubricates very well and it also doesn't freeze. It's definitely, we don't want anything freezing up, but basically what you would wind up doing is you can kind of pull on the top of the boot, and the nozzle will fit actually right down into the top of the boot. And you want to spray silicone spray until it comes out the other end of the throttle cable up by the handle. The other thing you want to do is go ahead and lubricate the throttle carburetor shaft. And again, this is a throttle right here that actuated before when we were operating the throttle. You want to spray right behind that. That's where the throttle shaft is. You want to spray that down in that location also. And that basically, you get real good lubrication. It also keeps it from freezing, and it's just a good practice to do that periodically through the course of the ice fishing season. The next step we're going to take is go ahead and reassemble the air cleaner back plate to the carburetor. We'll go ahead and line up the mounting screws. Slide those into the carb. Then we want to make sure that we get the gasket that goes between the carburetor and the adapter. Make sure that's back in position. We talked about that before during disassembly. I'll go ahead and tighten up the screws. those up nice and snug. I want to go ahead and reassemble the foam air filter and the foam air filter cover. And we'll go ahead and reassemble the air cleaner carburetor cover. We'll tighten that up again with a number 3 Phillips screwdriver. And then finally we'll reassemble the throttle lever back to the operator handle. Again, using a number 3 Phillips screwdriver. Get that up nice and snug. And then the last thing we want to do is go ahead and operate the throttle lever and look down through the carburetor cover and make sure that the throttle on the carburetor and everything functions properly. That basically concludes the proper procedure for mounting the protective moisture boot on the Jiffy 2-cycle engine, as well as lubricating that system for proper function and operation during use throughout the winter. If anyone has any questions regarding this procedure, I'd like to take this time to thank you for your continued support of Jiffy Ice Drills, and have a great day.